guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Lex. If you are new here, you're gonna love it. Here on this channel we talk about different ways that we can improve our lives and become the best versions of ourselves. So if that's the type of stuff that you're into, I recommend that you just subscribe, hit the bell so that you be notified whenever I upload, because I drop gems on this channel. I'll give you guys a couple of seconds to do that. Okay, so today's video is going to be about my 8 habits that have changed my life this year. And let's just get started. I have my notes on my phone. So starting out with the very first habit is waking up early. So if you guys didn't see, I uploaded a video that's titled Waking Up at 5 a.m. every day to increase productivity. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. I'll link it up here somewhere. But in that video I talked about, a lot of the benefits of waking up really early. Most successful people actually wake up between 5 and 6 a.m. Little fun fact in case you didn't know, which is actually true. You can look it up yourself. So if you're trying to be successful, then you need to be up before the sun is up. That's all I'm saying. Waking up early just increases productivity. You have more time in your day to accomplish your goals and get all of your tasks done. Also, if you work a full-time job, I already know the majority of your day is spent at work, because you spend 8 hours at work, and that doesn't include commuting time to get there and to get back home. So that is majority of your day working for somebody else and just putting your time into somebody else. And so when you wake up early, you have more time to take care of yourself and put time into yourself. Habit number 2 is going for walks. So there's so many benefits of going for walks. So I listened to a podcast that actually completely changed my perspective on walking. I will insert a screenshot of it right here so that you guys can go check it out as well. I used to think that walking was like a task, who wants to walk, especially once you drive. It's just you don't really walk anywhere. But there's so many benefits of walking, and it's actually a therapeutic activity to me now. Walking obviously helps with anxiety, stress, motivation, inspiration, and just your overall mood and happiness. It helps to tone up your body, gets your heart rate going. So obviously, just general health benefits. Going for a walk with a podcast playing is top tier. They recommend that you go for a walk within the first hour of waking up. So that's what I was trying to do. The thing is now is that it's getting really cold. So I haven't been going on walks as frequently, but there are some days where I just bundle up and suck it up just because I love the feeling I get when I'm walking. Like I said, listening to a podcast with it as well just makes the whole experience top tier. Which brings me into my next point, which is number 3, which is listening to podcasts. So this has completely changed my mindset. I find that listening to podcasts is the best way that I have been able to build up my mindset and change my mentality and just improve my overall way of thinking. Yeah, reading helps and watching motivational videos, but it's something different about just hearing somebody else's experience. Not seeing their face, just hearing their experiences, hearing the challenges that they went through and how they got through them, and just hearing what they're knowledgeable on, hearing their perspective on life and on different topics, and just learning new things. I just enjoy it. I actually have a few podcasts that I listen to consistently that I would love to share with you guys. So if you guys want to know, what podcasts I really like and what specific podcast episodes really stuck out to me, let me know and I can make a whole separate video on that. Number 4 is having a solid morning and night routine. So I actually listened to a podcast that shifted my perspective on this as well. I will insert a screenshot of that podcast right here, but she talks about, just how having a morning and night routine is self-care in a way. And if you haven't seen my morning routine, I will link it up here somewhere so that you guys can go watch it. I think it's going to be up here if I'm not mistaken. Having a morning and night routine, I see it as designated time to focus in on yourself and take care of yourself. I know every day is pretty much it could be unpredictable, but having that time where okay, in the morning I know I'm gonna do this, and at the end of the day I know I'm gonna do that, having that structured and, like I said, designated time has really been working out for me. Once you guys watch my morning routine, if you haven't already, you'll see that my morning routine is it's productive, but it's also relaxing. That's when I do my yoga, that's when I meditate, that's when I read, that's when I light my candle, I pray. You know, I just do things for myself to ground myself before I go into the hustle and bustle of the day. Especially living in New York, it's just like I'm always in a rush. Everyone around me is always in a rush. And so before we even get to that, like just taking time for myself to take care of myself. And then when it comes to a night routine, this is something that I thought I would never be able to get down, just because, like I said, like days can be unpredictable, and especially like towards the end of the day, like I don't always get home at the same time. So it's hard to say that I'm gonna have a set few activities that I'm gonna do before I go to sleep. But I found a way to make it work. And like in the podcast, she talks about, you know, at a certain time, maybe you change the light settings in your room, and like you light a candle and you just set the ambiance for, you know, I'm going to sleep soon, but like these are the things that I'm going to do to set myself up to have a good night's rest, basically, if that makes sense to you guys. Also, if you haven't seen my night routine, I will link it up here. It's doing numbers, so make sure you guys go watch that. Also, I'm kind of jumping all over the place, but she also talks about referring to night routines and morning routines as morning rituals and night rituals versus routine, just because the word routine sounds very mundane. It sounds like this mandatory thing that you have to do every day, but a ritual just sounds a lot lighter, and it sounds like, to me at least, it sounds like something that is just more fun than a routine. I don't know how to explain it. Some benefits of having a morning routine are increased productivity. It helps you to feel in control starting off your day, boosts your energy levels, things like that. And then some benefits of having a nighttime routine is it actually helps you fall asleep faster. It helps you to have better quality of sleep. And I find that it also helps my morning to flow a lot better too when I have a nice night routine that I've done. Number 5 is yoga. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you already know how I feel about yoga. It has changed my life. I do it every day. I've been doing it for over a year now, and the benefits are just unmatched. I like to think of yoga as basically body maintenance, just because like every day, whether you like do strenuous activities or not, like your body builds up tension. And so I feel like every day you need to stretch and breathe to relieve that tension and just maintain your body. Some other benefits of yoga are increased flexibility, strength, energy, endurance. It helps to tone up your body as well. And honestly, anyone who I've suggested doing yoga to and they actually did it, they came back and they were like, oh, like, you know, I'm so happy I did it. I really felt the difference in my body, because you will feel the difference in your body. And like I said, even if you're not doing strenuous activities every day, like we build tension up in our body from sleeping. You think that because you're sleeping, like your body's just fully rested and it's just, you know, great. But like, have you ever fell asleep with your neck in a weird position and then you woke up with a crook in your neck? Prime example. So even when you're sleeping, like your body is still holding tension. So I feel like you just need to release that every day. And I don't do yoga every single day. On the weekends I don't really do it, but definitely during the week, like I make sure I hold myself accountable to stretching my body, because I promise you, you will feel the difference in your body after you do it. You're gonna feel loose, you're gonna feel good, and all that good stuff. I would recommend starting off with like 10-minute yoga videos. I would recommend you watch Yoga with Cassandra on YouTube, Cassandra with the K. She's my favorite because she is very thorough. Like as she's working through each yoga movement that she's doing, she's talking you through it. She's telling you what to do, obviously, along with her showing you what to do. And then she's telling you, you know, how to breathe. She's giving you different pointers on making sure that like your form is right in each position and that you're not holding any tension while you're doing each pose. So go watch. She's not sponsoring me or anything. I just really like her videos, and I feel like for beginners, she's the best person to go to, because I literally learned how to do yoga from her, and now it's to a point where I can do my own full yoga sessions like without any instructions. So 10 out of 10 would recommend. Also, I have a yoga video on my channel, which is basically my everyday yoga routine. If you haven't seen it, you already know. is linked somewhere up here. Make sure you go watch it. Number 6 is meditation, which kind of goes hand in hand with yoga. If you didn't know, we think 70,000 thoughts a day. Like every day, 70,000 thoughts a day. So our minds are constantly going, like from the moment we wake up to the moment we go to sleep. It's just thought after thought after thought after thought after thought. And I feel like meditation is basically giving your brain a break from thinking thoughts for a second and just sitting down and just focusing on your breathing, which is easier said than done. But there are guided meditations out there. My favorite channel for guided meditations is a channel called Great Meditation. They have hundreds of videos on there, ranging from like 5 minutes, 10, 15, 20, and longer. And so I would recommend starting out with guided meditations before you start meditating on your own, because I'm still kind of working on meditating on my own. It's a work in progress. Some benefits that I have seen that have come from meditating are it helps me to be more self-aware. Like when you're meditating and you're sitting there focusing on your breath, you're training yourself to be present in the moment. But making this a daily practice really helps me, because throughout my day, if I am thinking about the past or the future, I'm able to catch myself and like gently bring myself back to the present moment. So it just makes me more aware of my thoughts, and when they're, you know, going all over the place, it helps me feel more grounded, and then it just gives your mind a break, like I had mentioned before. Habit number 7 is reading. So your brain is a muscle, as we all know, and it needs exercise just like every other part of your body. And one of the best ways to do that is through reading. And I would be lying if I said that I like reading, because I don't. It gets to be very boring sometimes. But when you're reading books that like you're actually interested in, it makes it more interesting. So like me personally, I like self-help books and books that like teach me things that'll just make my life better and like help me to become better as a person. And so that's kind of my motivating factor to read. And then obviously, you know, the benefits that come with reading are increase your focus, knowledge, and self-confidence. Me personally, I try to read 10 pages a day just to give myself some structure and like a goal that, you know, I try to hit every day. And I feel like that's doable for me. But whatever works for you is what you should do. But I would recommend reading. Like find a book that you're actually interested in and just try to get through the whole thing and start exercising your brain, and then, you know, it'll just be a habit. And if you did not know, I actually have a book club. It is called Growth Reads. We read one self-help book a month, and then we meet once to talk about that book. We're gonna pick back up with the new year because we actually took a little break. But I will leave the Instagram to that book club below. It is woman only, so if you're a guy, sorry. You could follow the page to see what books we're reading, but right now I only want it to be women that are like in the actual book club. So the last habit is number 8, which is romanticizing my life. So this is a habit that I started to implement towards the end of the year, like 4th quarter. And I'm still, you know, implementing it into my life. But basically, romanticizing your life can look like anything. I feel like there's so many different definitions out there, and me myself, I have a few different definitions of what that means for me. But in this context, I feel as though romanticizing your life is just making your life feel good, making yourself feel good on a day-to-day basis, and doing things that you enjoy doing. And so for me, that looks like having candles lit when I'm doing damn near anything, taking baths regularly, listening to music while I'm doing certain things, like working, and like just making like everyday mundane tasks feel a little bit better, doing things to make them feel a little bit better, buying yourself flowers, taking yourself out on dates, stuff like that. Just enhance your life a little bit and to just make it feel good. I feel like that's the biggest thing with romanticizing your life, is just making sure that your life feels good, even when you're doing things that you don't necessarily want to do. Being creative and seeing how you can make it more enjoyable. I also have a video of me talking about, you know, romanticizing my life, and I showed you guys what I did for a day or two to romanticize my life. So I will link that video up here so you guys can go see that. Make sure you tune in. I have referred to a lot of videos in this video, so you guys have a lot of videos to watch if you haven't already. So those are all the habits that I wanted to talk about today. I feel like this year, I remember in January, which is crazy how this year is basically over. But I remember in January, I promised myself that I was going to become a certain person, a certain type of person. And I feel like, you know, I made some big strides to live up to that. And I feel like honestly, each and every one of these habits have helped me get there. And that's not to say that, you know, I'm content with who I am, because there's always room for improvement and I'm always going to be working on myself. But I feel like this year I was very intentional, and these are the things that just really helped to transform my mind. I feel like to change your life or to change anything, like it all starts within the mind first, and like you got to really work on your mental. And like I feel like a lot of these habits that I mentioned, you know, help you do that. That is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. I hope you guys try these habits that I just talked about, because I'm not joking, like it really did make me 10 times better than I was this time last year. If you did like this video, make sure you leave a like and a comment down below. Like I said, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell to be notified whenever I upload, because we drop gems on this channel. Obviously, as you guys can see, you're gonna love it here, so just subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.